live. Come say hi. Falling down everywhere. A couple lights on. Making sure the car wasn't backed up so that way license plates weren't out and about. Let's see. Hey! What's going on? Hold on here. There we go. Get out of my way. I'll be right back. Gotta get some over here. In all of this mud. Ow. Muddy. Hold on. I'll be right there. Don't worry. Hold your horsies. See what you're saying. Let's chat. Hey, that's great news. That's great. Hold on. Trying to get stuff around. Locked. Everything's always locked around here. Can't never get into nothing. Oh, big deal. Ouch. We're throwing a fit about a bit of mud. Dumb. That's all that is. Just dumb. There we go. Trying to get in the garage. Cut before. It's been a while since I've been live. Wow. Wow, that's great. Hold on, clean the camera lens off. It was kind of foggy. Well, set this stuff over here off to the side. Wonder how long and how much stuff you have to have before you can make money on YouTube. That'd be kind of nice. But it probably takes a long time before you get enough of everything. Well, I've got 2050 oil. There we go. Spot out of the way for this. Getting to that soon. All this stuff. I'll let this table down. Hold on, check comments here. Oh, Okay, yeah. I don't post that many shorts. I probably should because they do the best. I mean, I get from the last short I made, I got like 1,000 views and 20 likes. Before, or that was under 24 hours. I'll have to check it. I think it was even over 1,000 views. So that's not bad. Push the table back. Okay, let's see how easy or hard this is going to be. I don't want to drop any of the bolts, even though I probably have extra bolts laying around for this engine. But torn apart so many. I don't like that rubber thing on there. It doesn't do anything. It just slides around and that's about all it'll do. It'd be nice if it would stay, but it won't. There. Guess I have to pick this up. Set it down on there. There we go. And then I can adjust it. Okay. I think it's on there. I might need to mess with it a little. I'll get some better lighting in here in a minute. These are kind of heavy. This thing really needs to be cleaned. I'll do that right before I sell it, because if I wait before I sell it, then it'll just get dirty again, and I have to keep cleaning it, and that's just a waste of time. Yeah, I try not to make a habit out of it. I think I only have like one time, if that. It makes it really hard though, because you gotta do some fancy camera work to not show yourself. That door don't respond very fast to the button. These lights are up here, so I have to have that closed a little bit. There we go. That's a much better view. The camera's a little dirty. I don't know why. I wiped it off, but I'll try wiping it off again here. See what I get. That's not bad. Okay. I do have the parts to fix that from a free mower I got. Yeah, it says 2 people. Sometimes, most of the time, people will just stop for like 25 seconds and then leave. That's why it's hard to get watch hours, because like these streams I get will get like 1,000 views sometimes, but yet 99% of them stay for a minute at best, except for you and maybe one other person. Oh, you need something? Don't be afraid to speak up. Okay, whatever. You won't get no help from me. You can't speak up. I'll be there in just a minute. Don't worry, I'm gonna be long. Just gotta get a couple random things. I've torn so many of these apart. If I lose a bolt, I have a big container of spare parts, and I have about 6 huge buckets in the shed. No, I'm not choking. I'm just clearing my throat. Yeah. Sky King, do you have any news on your other channel yet of whether or not you're getting it back or not? Hopefully they don't. Yeah. Hopefully they don't take it away permanently. Thanks. It took me well over a year. And I probably would have had about 115, if I'm counting right, if them stupid trolls wouldn't have been subscribing and unsubscribing, because I had that happen several times. But they do that, and they've done that my whole channel ever since day one. It's kind of annoying. Oh, okay. That's too bad. Yeah. Or YouTube has taken away a couple of times some of my views too, which I don't think is fair, but hey, I guess they do, so whatever. Oh, and I just have a thought. I'm going to set this table up here, this piece of wood. Let's see, I'll put the camera right there. For now, you can look at the beautiful stuff on the floor. It's going to take me a second. Don't worry, hold your horsepowers. Let's see. Gotta move one thing to get the other thing. I gotta move everything else to move one thing. Oh well. I guess I don't care anymore. Well, I'll set this over here. I apologize. Got this place a wreck. Forgot about this, and then I was gonna have to do this, so I set everything away. to be able to get up to the tool cabinet. Yeah, that's 200 more than I gained in a year. You would think with the amount of views I get, I could get a few of those people to subscribe, but they don't. I have like 35,000 views altogether and like 220 watch hours. You'd think they'd have enough consideration to like and subscribe and watch a while, but they don't. That's it. I got that right there. Okay. This plastic is already loose. I've had this apart one time and never finished it, so here we are. Because what do I finish? That's my question. This thing isn't really in bad shape. I mean, yeah, you've grown really quickly just in the short amount of time you've been posting on your second channel. Some kind of bug nest. I'll have to fix this. I have the parts off of a free mower I got. That's a junk parts mower, and I got the spring and everything for this. The previous owner just kind of wired it in there. And it looks like the holes and everything are still there for the rod, so that's good. This thing ain't in bad shape. It's obviously kind of disgusting. What happened to this thing here? Oh, there's a rod that goes, it starts in this hole, it goes through there, and it holds this on, and I guess the little clip that holds it on fell out, so they just did that with it, but I have that, so. But once I get it cleaned up, it'll be a nice push mower, and I'm not gonna keep this. I'm gonna sell it. I have enough push mowers, so I'm gonna sell it and make a bit of money off of it. And there's one broken cable, but I found out on Amazon it's like $6, and that's really all that's wrong with it. So if that's all I have to get and an air filter, then that's not, that's about $10 altogether. These things usually go for $150 to $200 in good shape, so it's not bad. Now I had this carburetor apart one time. I just kind of did it halfway and took the bowl off, but it didn't want to run good, so now we're going to do it the right way. I did it in a very lazy way, because it hadn't been long since it ran, but there was still some junk up in there I couldn't get to. So it would take about 10 pulls for it to start when it was hot, and I'm not going to sell it like that. Get out of there. And that thing fell out. And these are 5/16. For some reason, on my other live streams I was doing, those screencast lives, they wouldn't let the comments through. I had to find the live stream on my old phone and comment from that, because they wouldn't let it through on my tablet that I was doing the live streams on. I didn't like that. These two little screws come out. Those are 5/16. These things are very simple to work on. I really enjoy working on them. These type of engines. It does have gas in it because I filled the tank about halfway, unfortunately. But that won't be too hard to deal with. It's super nice out today. This whole upcoming week is going to be in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, bunch of bird feathers in that spring. Pull that out. It hooks on that little tiny tab in there. Bring it. We want spring. What do you mean? I got to see my childhood friend from 5th grade. Oh, that's great. This mower, I looked it up. Used price. You know, it depends. Oh yeah, spring. I thought you meant like this kind of a spring here, not the season. You know, it's different every mower. This one starts at about 150 and goes up from there depending on how clean and shiny it is. But this one, I'm gonna definitely get 150 out of it. And then I might sell it, or I might start at 150 and then be willing to go down to maybe 120 or so. But it's just dirty right now. Like all this gunk comes off of here, and it should be pretty nice. Yeah, it's fine. I just last spring or summer. I think it was last spring. I sold a Craftsman for about $250. I think it was. It came from my neighbor, and it was like 15 years old, and I was the only one that had ever used it. It had been ran less than an hour, and I was able to get about $250 out of it. Because on this live stream, on these kind, it lets me see the comments. On the other ones, I had to find it on my phone. Yeah, it was. Get this little bolt out. That's your choke lever there. Can you guys see that? I can't see around the comments here. This little tab here sticks in that slot, and then this moves back and forth and opens and closes the choke. Bolts that hold it on, there is, let's see, I see another comment. Once I go live, I'll show you how to see the comments when you screencast. Oh, okay, thanks. There's a bolt kind of hidden up in there and one right there. You can't really see the other one around the fuel line. Which, is that fuel line pliable? Yeah. I think I'm gonna grab a pair of pliers to get that off. Sometimes those fuel lines get real hard and then you can't clamp them off. Stop the fuel from flowing. Oh, I have that up. I have the clamp will work on a different fuel line. Oh, I want to try this one. Same size, but slightly different. Oh yeah, 4 likes already. That's great. See, I'll grab a rag. I'll probably put a new fuel line on this thing. I have a big spool of it, and might as well do it so that way it's reliable for whoever buys it. because I think that's the original line. So let's see. These are pretty nice fuel line clamps. I like them. I've used them quite a lot. Let's see if that'll crimp the fuel. Like what I am doing, I don't know. So I'm kind of confused. How? 43. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. And then you got this clamp that just slides back. I already have the fuel tank loose, so it just kind of will go back like that, and then I'll break it free from the carburetor. Wow, I haven't had a fuel line that came off that easily in a long time. Okay, it's gonna work. Good, sometimes those clamps don't work. There we go. Now that I don't have to worry about that. Are you using your phone or tablet? Good thing I didn't fully shut that door. I left it open a little bit, so that way there was some air in here. There's the other bolt up in there. It's a 3/8. I should have parts for this carburetor out in the shed somewhere, but this carburetor wasn't bad. It's just got some junk in it. Set that up there. That way it don't get mixed up. I kind of didn't want to put it back together because I want to clean it. It's really dirty. And you gotta take it apart to clean it, so I haven't done that yet because, you know, I put stuff off. But I'm trying to get this stuff done before spring because that's when stuff is going to be selling. And, you know, there's a lot to do. And that just kind of slides out. Well, should slide out, but doesn't mean it will. And I'll let that pee out on the rag. Well, of course, now I don't want to, but bring it over on the table, it'll all leak out. Why not? Let's see. I don't want gas all over my camera stand. Bring you over here. Woo. Going on a very short journey. Let's see. Yeah, that's very good thinking. Let's see. That's a good view. Let's see. That bolt should be 1/2 inch, if I remember right. One thing you might notice about me is I love deep well sockets. That's about all I use is deep sockets. Yeah, 1/2 inch. Oh yeah. Of course now it'll all pee out. It wouldn't before. I was thinking about doing a live subscriber count. The day you did yours on your other channel, Sky King, but not after all that. No. Let's see, I'll pour that out on the floor. Don't want that over here. I'll get a clean part on the rag, so that way I don't get this dirty. I should have gloves on, but hey, you know, I ain't gonna put none on. Sissy mittens, I don't need none. Let's see here. There's that little pin. One thing I don't like about these microfiber rags is they hold on to dirt and stuff, and then you get that dirt on whatever you're doing. So I'm gonna grab another rag right over here and wipe my hands off on. Yeah, not a good idea. Yeah, I know. That was a little crazy. Let's see. I should have everything I need out. Not a good idea to do anything on Google. Keep that over there so it don't get dirty. There's a little brass jet down there. I don't know if you can see it, but this is what I couldn't get to with it on the mower. And there's one little hole down there. I've seen a tiny bit of dirt come out of that, but that's not a passageway. Yeah, there's some dirt I can see coming out of that. Wipe the float off. No good. Keep that clean. And here's the needle, which I'll just wipe that off and clean the tip off. Slide that back onto the float. There's really nothing to these carburetors. There's only a couple holes to clean out. And that's really about it. Keep that like that. And there's come over here. There's a jet in there. You gotta clean it out too. Which I wasn't able to get that, but give it another quick blast. Take that, YouTube. You think it can stop me from gaining subscribers? Yeah. Yeah. And for some reason, YouTube will not let you, if you're like on another channel's live stream and you ask them to subscribe to you, they take your comment and delete it. I've tried it multiple times, and if you comment it, X out of it, it's deleted. Which I don't think is right, but I guess they have a spell if they think you might get somewhere. Clean that pin off and rinse out the bowl a little bit here. Yeah, that's nice and shiny. Ain't gonna get much cleaner than that. And I'll clean off around there too. Keep the gasket surface clean. That way it'll get a good seal. I'll wipe that float off real quick just to be sure. And where's the pin? Just had it. Put it on the floor. Now I'll let it drop. Well, where'd it go? No. Little needle pin is, or the float pin is gone. Where did that go? It was sitting right there. I don't see it on the floor. It's not too hard to miss. Impossible gain another 50 subscribers before I go back home. Just cleaning it right now. Not rebuilding it. Oh, there's the pin. Right there. It wasn't bad enough to rebuild. It just needed flushed out because I didn't do a good job flushing it out before. I could have just had some water in the fuel that washed in from the tank to the carburetor too, because it did run and it ran pretty good. It was just real hard to start. Which that could just be the spark plug too. Uh-oh. Sounds like the ambulance or whatever stopping. They always do that. They go by and keep turning their sirens on and off. I don't get why. Maybe it's just to get people out of the way. And then this here is also your main jet and the bull nut or bull bolt. So you just want to spray a little cleaner in there. There we go. That's clean enough. Slip that on. Okay, there we go. I'll get the camera back over to the table, other table. Clean my hands off a little. Okay, thanks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 moderators, and yet you're the only one who shows up. My first moderator hasn't showed up since the 3rd or 4th live, and the other moderators haven't shown up since the live stream I made them live. That I made them a moderator, whichever one that was, which has been quite a few ago. So I'm just gonna, I gotta figure out how to remove them because it's a weird, yeah, I'm going to, but you know, YouTube being YouTube is a little weird and you can't just get to it. So I gotta go through a bunch of random stuff and can't figure it out. So I'm still trying to learn how to get to it. And then I'm going to, I guess you'll just be the only moderator, which is fine, but you know, it's nice to have two in case the other one don't show up, but it's not fine to have 4 that don't show up. So, you know, should have picked a better round of people, but I didn't. The first moderator, before I was doing live streams and needed a moderator, you know, he was always on my channel. I was always on his channel. We would have full-on conversations back and forth. And for about the past month now, he hasn't. You can look it up on YouTube, yeah. And for about the past month, he hasn't posted anything. He hasn't been on my channel. He won't respond to my comments. So hey, you know, he's not going to be on the moderator list. He can't show up. Yeah. Sometimes people are different at some, and sometimes people can, I can't think right now. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes people are a little different than they seem. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Which, that's why you gotta be careful, because nobody, or not, a lot of people aren't who they say they are. Get that cleaned off. And clean out in there, because that's the intake tube. So, flush that out a little. Guess I won't flush it out, because it didn't want to come out. Okay. Move this over. 3/8. Two bolts are up there. Yep, you gotta be careful who you let be a moderator. Yep, that's right. Because sometimes people are a little shifty and shady. And I don't want them people around. There's enough out there. That just rotates. So you just rotate the carburetor until that Z-bend goes in. And get one bolt started, which this one's designed slightly differently than the other Briggs like this. I'm not going to be starting this tonight just because I got to clean it before I can put the recoil and everything back on it to start it, and the oil dipstick tube and all that. So, which I'll probably get to that here soon, but not tonight. This is all I'm going to do tonight. Okay, got that one started. There we go. So sorry about that. Get that one. Put both snugged down. I need to get a microphone here soon. The only problem is they're just so expensive. Microphones are. All the cheaper ones on Amazon don't work. I've gotten two, and they had to be returned. YouTube can't terminate your channel over a creepy comment. Remember those? I think YouTube can. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, there was some creepy comments and creepy ads that you had, which that was a little too far there, those ads, but hey, whatever. I didn't even know that YouTube and Google would allow that. That was some crazy stuff. Okay, don't want to over tighten that because it's a real small screw. Stretch that out to there. It goes in a little groove. There we go. That moves good. Now this goes on, which I'm gonna wipe off the gasket there. Clean that off real good. There's that little port there. It goes into there. That's where the engine gets its fresh, clean air. right socket for that. 5/16. There we go. No, dropped it. Oh well. Get the other one started. And that's going into aluminum, so don't need to be crazy tight. I think when I took this cover off here, the head gasket looked new, so it kind of makes me wonder if somebody's been in there, or if it's just because it's been covered up, but you can see the edge of it, and it was real shiny looking. It's usually kind of oxidized on an old engine like this, because it's made of that kind of material. I forgot to slide the fuel line on, but that's alright. I can do that later. I won't do that tonight. I'll put the cover on, which I got a lot of cleaning to do on this thing. What was that? Oh, I got a lot of cleaning to do. I gotta clean all that off, clean the whole mower, clean all the tires, and I had to try to do that without a pressure washer because our pressure washer broke and it's expensive to fix it. And you know, some things are more important to pay than a pressure washer. So I have to do everything by hand for a while, which I'm not going to put that in there. All that thing does is crankcase pressure and emissions. I guess I shouldn't talk about removing that kind of stuff on YouTube, but I am, because they'll have a spell. And it didn't want to stay on there anyway. Those little tabs aren't holding it in. And that's basically it tonight. I kind of want to go in. Pressure washers are generally junk. I need to make the engine better. Yeah, well, it's mainly the pump that goes bad on pressure washers often, because you can get whatever engine you want. And we have a bunch of engines out in the shed that came off of pressure washers, but all the pressure washers we brought home had bad pumps, and we needed a good pump, and it was always the other way around. So and that pressure washer we had, it never really worked from the beginning, or at least that I remember. It was always kind of a piece of junk. All right, well, I guess that'll be it for tonight. I'm going to clean this up here tomorrow if I can, and I might do another video on this. I have a couple other things that I can make videos on too. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Do screencast. Yeah, I can do that tonight. Thank you. All right, well, thank you for watching, and see you again soon. Goodbye. Bunch of junk on my screen.